Hello and welcome to my channel, and this is day 28 of the Spring To It / VEDA Videoathon, and today's prompt is the best and the worst of 2018 so far. So this is my list of my best and worst books that I've read for 2018 so far. So far in 2018, I have read 102 books. Yes! I am smashing it this year. Audiobooks are my friend. I love them. I love them oh so very much. So I decided to do 5 and 5, pick my 5 best and my 5 worst, and we're going to discuss them. So let's start on a bad note and then end on a happy note. So my 5 worst books that I've read in 2018 so far, and this is not in any particular order from, worst to being the dumps. These are just 5 books that I was not happy with. So the first book we're going to talk about is The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot, and I tried to read this book. I DNF'd it. I couldn't do it. I hated it. I didn't like where the story was going, and I didn't like that Mia was like a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old in the book. Yeah, no. I absolutely loved the movie, adore the movies, Princess Diaries and Princess Diaries 2, The Royal Engagement. Love them, love Anne Hathaway as Mia, love just all of that. All of that. Hate the books. The next book we're going to talk about is You by Caroline Kepnes. I did not get the hype. I didn't feel like I was in a stalker's shoes. I didn't understand Joe. I didn't understand the main female character. I just didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. The next book is Roomies by Christina Lauren. I finished this book, and it was one of those that was like on the fence, but I just didn't, it wasn't something, it was a meh. The next book is Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. Yeah, and I thought this was just word vomit for like 100 and something pages or whatever it was. Just throw some words on a page and say it's a book. Granted, it's a book of poetry and it's supposed to be all short and blah blah. And then the last book we're going to talk about is Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. And I've heard great things about Libba Bray's writing. This story, I don't know if it was because I tried to listen to it on audiobook, and I actually DNF'd this book. Tried to listen to it on audiobook, and I don't know if it was because she was narrating it, and it just didn't, it was supposed to come off sarcastic and funny, and it sounded like crap. I was like, ooh, look, I can read a book about action, adventure, and beauty queens. And 15 minutes into it, I think it was, and it was a big pile of poop. On to a happier note. These are my 5 favorite books so far for 2018. And like I said, these aren't in any particular order, but yes. So many yeses. I probably will do rereads if I ever get a chance to of these books, but I'm loving these books for 2018 that I think I'm just going to continue to talk about them on my channel. So the first one is She Asked For It by Willow Winters. This book, ooh, it is a triggering book because it deals with some very trigger-ish issues. I mean, just in the name, you might pick up on what the trigger may be, and the way Willow writes this book, it's just, it kicked my butt. It kicked my butt. At one point, I was sitting in my bathroom just in tears for this book because of the characters and how moved I was by these characters. The next book is Love You Through It by Fabiola Francisco. This book got me out of my author slump for Fabiola. I read it for her as an ARC, and I absolutely adored this book. This book really touched home for me because I have had friends and know people that go through the same, or that have been through the same situation that our main character goes through, and oh, it was so touching. It was full of feelings, and even though there were moments where I was like, I just want you to move over the hump of, you know, that issue that you're having, you could tell that everyone does things in their own way. And I'm trying to be kind of vague on that because I don't want to give away what the full story is about. Just know that it's beautiful and it's very realistic. You can really connect to it if you try. Next, I'm going to talk about Mercy and Havoc by Debra Anastasia. I listened to these books on audiobooks, and they were actually ARCs for me as well. Oh, these books, yes, brought me back to Debra, and I loved her work before, and I love these two books, and the two or three narrators, I think it was, that she got, four narrators, because it was 2 female narrators and 2 male narrators, or it might have been more, I can't remember, but the narrators that she got to do these books for her were absolutely amazing. They definitely threw me into the world of Mercy and Animal, and I just loved every moment of it. I devoured these 2 books and loved every minute of it. Next one I'm going to talk about is 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tillie. This was probably one of the first books that tore my heart out this year and made me like cry all over the place. I'd have to go back and look at my videos, but this one definitely was one. I yelled at you guys for it because so many of you were like, oh, you need to read this book. Yes, it's so good. You failed to warn me that it was going to rip my heart out and just destroy me at the same time of being really, really good. Really good. And then finally, I'm going to talk about the new Camelot trilogy by Simone. Political, thriller, suspense, Eminem, BDSM, erotica. Just so many things. Loved this series. Started off with American Queen, and I wasn't sure about it with the one voice of Greer, but then American Prince happened, and then American King, and I got my first public crying moment with this series, and yes, all kinds of yes. Yes, so many yeses. I'm going to be talking about the new Camelot trilogy for a while. Not to mention, I actually have physical copies of that series, so yeah, I will be talking about them. So those are my best and my worst books of 2018 so far. I have really enjoyed reading this year, and the fact that I'm like smashing it, and that I'm getting so many different like genres and subgenres in and everything like that. Loving it. Totally enjoying it. So, have you read any of the books that I just named off? If so, let me know down in the comments what you thought about those books. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later. We will see you guys tomorrow.